going, look, now this is straight.
No, it's true. You see like more down of you guys, and like we're all at the top of the frame, whereas like when it was down, it's like we're in the middle of the frame.
Oh,
All
so
of,
that's,
even all of
you
us.
know what I'm
So I
saying?
think that's
Does that kind of make?
yeah,
it kind of works.
Hey, how'd he do?
How to do? Huddly diddly.
Sweet home Alabama, dude.
What you do can't get you.
That's where we left off last time. Welcome back. This is
What the fuck is this?
it's whatever the fuck this is.
Oh, yeah.
Back season 2 with
Geomag of Dale.
that one.
Manny.
That guy too. You've seen him before. He's around. And yeah, we're at the fucking woods. Can't see it, but we're at the woods.
Believe us.
So,
We're there.
boys,
So,
how goes?
which of the southern U.S. states would you live in if you actually had no choice?
Oh my god.
The classic move for the last couple of years has been the Texas, right? That's where hasn't it been?
Yeah.
I can't help but feel like there's a reason for it. I would trust
What is it?
all those
Austin,
people.
Texas?
I would do
that's the-
Texas or
yeah.
Mississippi for sure.
Could be
So, like
cool.
New Orleans shit, maybe slang some
Mississippi.
French or something.
New Orleans. My
Yeah.
dad's been there one time. I have a T-shirt from like some band that he saw at some place over there.
So be honest with me, is there any hope for America?
Yeah, of course.
I think so.
As long as you got
What
freedom,
do you think?
and
Any
As a
hope for,
bastion of
for what?
of
yeah,
freedom?
true. What are we talking? Hope for
I don't know. I just fucking around going with like the fucking
I think
the
there's
sweet home Alabama.
the southern U.S. and the fucking politics that they have, and the
people
fucking-
love the freedom. I think the freedom is pretty popular right now, but I mean, I think they're gonna do well. They're selling so many weapons right now, and they're just really getting rid of their stockpiles with Ukraine. So it's really
Do you-
allowing them to go back into research and development after this, and just push out the next wave.
Is that a thing that's happening?
Well, in general, the industrial military complex of the U.S. is like pretty crazy. Like they try and sell so many weapons, and like usually that's kind of how it's been in this whole situation. Their wars, they also ramp up on the production of all of their military equipment, and they sell it to people. So that's like a huge thing they do. It's like even us, like.
Do you think there will be more or less freedom per person in the world in 10 years?
I think less.
2032.
Maybe I'm just a doomer.
I think
kinda dude.
less.
Yeah.
More freedom, less freedom.
I think you're seeing the beginning of the end of American
less
hegemony.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think about stuff that big, to be
The
honest.
Pax Americana.
Well, who's taking over? What's going to be like?
It's not. That's really the only thing keeping the states in power is that the lack of viable alternatives. You have the Chinese and the
Kinda
yuan. You have Russia, Iran, and all these other who are really the outside of NATO allies of Russia, allies of unallies of West. Even you have maybe India, Pakistan, whatever. They're trying to keep good relations with Russia.
to
other than that,
overtake the states as what exactly? As
the biggest global leader, power, whatever.
Yeah, in terms of, but there's
In terms of influence.
yeah, wrapped up in that, there's all kinds of media presence and all these things, and right.
For sure, we get a certain narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
But all history is a narrative.
But
we have
also,
to understand.
we also get to choose our sources, and if we want, we get to dig in. Whereas, if you actually compare it, it's easy to portray Russia as the bad guy because they so clearly are in so many respects, right? Like the crackdown on any information, on journalism, on all that stuff is huge. And the other day I was reading about they had these these vehicles, these trucks with the news on them that they were driving through eastern Ukraine and the places they had taken with the news, and they were talking about how it's an Orwellian freaking this is the news, well look at it on the trucks, there's literally 2-3 news stations you're allowed to have. So how is it?
How's that gonna
How
work
can you
for
not
everyone
paint
else?
them as the bad guy? When
regardless
they so clearly are?
regardless of whatever casus belli they have in Ukraine, saying Slavic people, Russian people being genocided in Eastern Ukraine, whatever they say, it doesn't.
No man,
it doesn't matter because they're autocratic governments, right? As are all governments. The states is just less. It's just a hidden fucking man, dude. The big brother is kind of behind the bush, he's not right in plain sight in North Korea, Russia,
private corporations and yeah, the government itself has like a lot of power to push their agenda. Like
Things like
it is
important.
pretty wild, like how you go from like, you know, Obama to Trump to Biden. It's like kind of fucking crazy.
Crazy in what way?
I mean,
It is kinda crazy,
the
but, like,
shift in the
I mean-
cabinet of people running the country is so huge that the
Yeah.
biggest failure in those countries is that they can't do long-term plans, and like that's why China has kind of thrived in that regard.
Yeah.
There
I
are
see
some
where you're going with
advantages
that.
to having a,
There are advantages to having. That's why, you know, the idea of democracy is being shit as old as like at least Plato.
True.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, people are dumb. Democracy sucks. We should have kings,
Yeah.
like
So you-
wise kings that are there for like the benefit of the
Yeah.
long-term, like
I think
rational, like
you could
state.
for sure make a point that like a good enough king dude that just had everything under fucking control and
Exactly.
ran that shit.
A
would be
monarch, a
sick.
perfect monarch would be like a benevolent, would be like a god king
Top
would be
tier, yeah.
probably the best because
like Kim Jong Un.
you reduce
Like,
bureaucratic-
exactly.
you reduce all your bureaucratic inefficiency, and you have a
Yeah.
if you have a truly wise in this hypothetical situation, right? We're talking about a benevolent dictator.
Yeah, like an actual good dude.
Yeah.
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 And then also like the people amongst each other would be chilling more probably. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have like that extra layer. Of,
There wouldn't be so much energy and time in politics and
Yeah.
like dialectic and
Yeah.
stuff.
Everybody could just be like, if the king shit, everybody hates him. You know,
But-
but you don't gotta hate each other at all. Like, fuck that dude sometimes.
But just to like the timeline of that shit, I believe is really just like Putin is gonna like
Putin?
die from cancer or something.
He does have,
And he's gonna
diseases,
die, and then he's gonna
apparently,
be a vacuum that's gonna be like taken over, and they're gonna immediately cease the war, immediately go back, and they're gonna like
For
fucking
Ukraine
collapse
stuff?
as a
Yeah.
fucking country. Like literally, that's what I think is gonna happen.
I think a very important point.
So I think this war in Ukraine is gonna last years.
I don't know, man.
Years
If
and
he
years and
croaks,
years.
if he croaks, it's gonna keep going. You think?
I don't-
Oh.
I think it makes sense that if he croaks,
Whether
it's
he
done,
I
though.
think
or
the
not,
reason
yeah.
he went to war is actually because he is sick and because he needs to like
You
try
have to
and
understand
accomplish
this.
his no, but like
Die an old
it's
man,
so irrational
problems.
for how he was usually behaving.
But this you have to understand that Putin is yeah, no 100%. I don't
And
think
the Ritz.
no one's gonna really defend Putin that much here.
Like I used to think he was like intelligent and like I was shrouded in all this shit, and then after this happened, I'm like,
used to
God damn it, this
What
does not look like a good plan. This is like removes all the credibility of those.
Well,
No way
look,
the
but if
camera's
you-
buzzing, right? That's-
If you fucking depends what you mean by intelligent. Look, like the guy in his last throes of life ends up like taking 20% of Ukrainian territory under control.
So many Russians died, like it's crazy.
But you have 20. God's not making any more land. Like more people are coming though.
you have tons
Sweet
of
old
land.
Alabama.
Like it's not about it is
Like
about the oil
land
and the
is
water.
no, but land, dude. Land feuds outlive. Like every son that dies in this war is or every father that dies is creating another butthurt generation after that. This war is not gonna go away. This is like a deep feud. It's not the first conflict they've had. You
But I
know?
do think that
I
if he
mean,
croaks, it could wrap up though. From
It's-
what I understood,
it's been
there's
the
a
first
lot
one
of
since a
people.
long time.
It's been splintered kingdoms
Yeah.
back in the day and all the way until like modern
Since
times.
2008, Crimea and like the Donbass like stuff. Like I don't. There wasn't.
No, but
really
I'm talking
anything
about
since
even.
World War II.
I'm talking about before. Like if someone tells you, like Putin said, hey, the Ukraine is just Russia. Like literally just said that
Yeah.
there is a redundancy. Like you say Ukraine, you mean Russia. So he's saying
Yeah.
that the Slavic people are actually one people, and in a way he's not wrong. But all those Slavic people kind of go back to one kingdom, but you can just as well argue that Ukraine actually is the rightful heir to that
Exactly.
kingdom,
They
and
should
then
get all of Russia.
Ukraine should get all of Russia.
So exactly.
And then strategically, if you're just like looking at a fucking map of there, if Ukraine gets West support and actually just cuts off Russia at the Volgorod Gap, there they take the whole
Yeah.
control of the
whole
sea, the
plains,
Black
yeah.
Sea.
Oh yeah, well,
They actually cut off
Sea of
Russia from an
Azov.
entire sea.
yeah.
I haven't been following
Sea
any
of
of the
Azov.
recent stuff with that at all. Other from like when it first started, there was like the first weekish, and then since then I kind of been out of the loop. I don't know what the fuck.
It's day 100 today, actually.
100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
today.
Is this a commemorative show now? Actually, I have no idea.
Special day 100.
That's
But I
crazy.
I just wanted more to talk about like from stepping back from like old man Putin wars. Like this shit's gonna go on, I think, with regardless of
Of him being
Putin or
alive
not.
or not.
Yeah, because it's deep
Maybe.
shit, man. These feuds, like You should, you kill
But then-
somebody's son in war. That guy just wants to kill,
No.
like
A
the
lot of people
But-
feel like they shouldn't be at war though.
I thought
generational
that's what-
like feuds and stuff.
I thought that even from like the last time I was paying attention, there was people within the kind of Russian thing that were like, maybe we don't fucking do this, and he was kind of shutting them down. So that's why I was.
For sure, yeah.
They don't have enough
Yeah.
people for their draft. People don't want to. There's
But I
having
don't
so
know.
many military personnel that don't want to actually go in and fight. And they're
You're right
sending,
that the most likely collapse of their whole thing, because of what Putin's doing, is probably administrative and economic. Because a central planning government will always like fail over time. Like it's too inefficient.
yeah.
That's literally, ironically, the collapse of the Soviet Empire probably happened just because of that reason.
Yeah, but they're like literally an oligarchy, like on steroids with the billion. They're not like a highly organized bureaucratic. I think society. The Russians actually. I don't think like that's how it's organized. It's a lot of like feudal lord mafia gang kind of shit. Like and people
Yeah.
just dying left
Hell
and
yeah.
right of everything.
They're
don't know
a hardy,
nothing.
like proud, very very much like vast territorial, vast commodity market. Like people, they're rich in commodities. They have rich in land.
All
They
I
have
know
the
about the
most,
Russians, they got some cool movie characters, and they share the church with the Greeks. That's what I know.
Sure,
about.
Yeah.
I don't know much
Orthodox,
else.
So do Ukrainians,
Yeah.
though.
True.
Share
Yeah.
Orthodox.
Yeah, we got that
So it's
alliance,
actually
some
there's
of those
actually
people.
like some infighting here, and
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, all humans share common ancestry with
Yeah.
mushrooms. Right? Like at the end of the day, we're all
True,
True.
dude. I was trying to show people the fungi thing the other day, and like people
What's
were
the
dumb.
dude Stamets?
Yeah,
Stamets?
Stamets.
That guy's cool
Yeah.
as fuck. There's a documentary on like a Netflix or something that he was in, or that
Yeah.
he made, that I watched like a year ago or something. That was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
That is true. That is the origin point of all of us. Some fucking
Yeah.
hour.
Just mushrooms at
Plant
war with
species.
each other.
mushroom lore.
That's kind of fucked up.
So yeah, if you go back enough in the lore, we're all fucking one. But so
Mycelium
ironically,
forever, dude.
Yeah, Team Mycelium.
Team Mycelium.
But ironically, Putin actually strengthened that Ukrainian identity a bit, because now
Yeah,
like
Because
you,
they got
you
an
kind
enemy
of
kind of thing.
yeah, you have
Fuck that
like
guy. Yeah, that makes sense.
it's a Naruto, it's a Uchiha and
Oh my god, love. Yeah.
I don't know this one.
The Konoha,
My brain went
Konoha.
to Watchmen. That was the when I was like when you like
Watchmen.
clicking to make like associations between ideas and shit. I was like,
sick as watching though.
remember reading it? Remember when it was
Yeah,
the whole
comic book.
there was like a whole
the comic book
the-
in the
the
comic
comic
book
book.
was
but also
sick.
the fake alien invasion that brought the people together, and that was the whole thing with the Ozymandias fucking planet, whatever.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was Mandias. But dude,
Kill millions,
sidebar
to save
that the
billions.
comic book inside the comic book. If you read the Watchmen, there's a kid at a comic book stand reading a story
I vaguely remember this.
about a dude that's stranded,
Okay, yeah,
shipwrecked
yeah.
or something.
Kinda, and it relates
And
to
it's
like
a
the other
fucking
dude.
dark
It feels like a Dr.
story, dude.
Manhattan
Like
kind
that,
of thing.
that should be its own story. Like that would be a sick story.
I don't remember the details of that.
There was a bunch of dead people. He had to make a raft out of their bodies to escape this like damned like forsaken island.
Yeah.
And then he, in his madness, like they started talking to him and shit, and like
I'm
it's
getting like
fucked up. Like,
flashes in my head because it's been a while, but I do kind of remember what you're talking
it's a
about.
sick.
Yeah.
It's a comic book
Like
in
a
the
mini-
comic book.
I don't
Yeah.
remember it.
It was cool.
Fucking Ozymandias' plan too. Yeah, that's an interesting plan. That's kind of like a Putin would want to be like an Ozymandias, you know, like a.
Well, I was thinking in the way that you said that, like it gave, like given people kind of a common enemy and that kind of forming their identity, like as a reaction to this
Yeah.
threat. Like
Yeah.
that was all kind of built
Yeah.
into that whole.
And I think a big part of this thing is actually enemies of the U.S.
yeah.
rallying a bit behind the like. I don't know. I think the 4chan, the global homo,
yeah.
like which is not like a homo, like global homogenous.
Yeah.
is what it actually stands for.
Yeah,
It's
for
like
the for the
funny.
fucking viewers uneducated.
basically the globalist like one fucking
Yeah.
order of
I've heard the terms.
financiers like
The fucking yeah the one
so
world.
so
the
yeah
New
so
World Order
so
shit.
Russia's Putin's fighting the global homo.
Yeah, because Ukraine
and,
is secretly
Yeah,
in
because
that.
there wouldn't be anything to
because it's all,
balance out the America powers.
But it's whatever. It's
America culture.
Real thing. How could nobody could actually ever take the place of the states though? Like for real,
not the culture.
you gotta
maybe.
there's
cultural victory.
nobody
dude.
makes the movies, dude. There's no Hollywood.
Well,
you know what I mean? There's no Russian Hollywood.
It is possible that I think you'll either see like a slow insipid like failing of this system from the inside, the whole the freedom defeating itself, the liberalism gone too far of like now the fucking LGBTQR
about,
woke
like,
diversity,
social
like we
politics,
can't get anything done because of identity politics, like nothing matters but race, like economy doesn't matter, like nothing really matters except gender and all this stuff.
Getting too lost in that shit, definitely.
Getting that like freedom. Anyways, I think that's shit's all a distraction personally. But but you sorry, I got distracted. But basically, you're either gonna have that sort of kind of stuff defeated, or you're gonna see it get stronger, and over like literally 600 years, it could be America dominates. Where in 100 years, Canada is basically just now we're like unofficially a puppet state. Then we'll just be like an official puppet state, or like at least the West will be.
Yeah.
Because really Canadian culture will also start diluting and seeing that like provinces themselves are not that connected at all.
Especially speaking from here, right?
But what if the U.S. like fails and then you just Canada englobes more of the people, because Canada there's like
we don't have the balls, dude.
There's like outside of all the small stuff, there's like also a distinction of the political kind of like the healthcare and like the way of living kind of.
Yeah, that Canada might, in that scenario where the U.S. slowly bleeds out, might gain some strength in Canada. But in the dominance in the timeline where like the States dominates, like Canada is just basically we'll just slowly we'll probably willingly join them at that point, because it gives us like the biggest advantage, honestly, and restructure, and it's a chance for the states to reform as well.
Well, when Russia will come from the north in those 600 years, then
I really
fight them there, and that's where America will englobe fucking
Is the
Canada.
North Arctic or Antarctic? But anyways, the Arctic is going to be like a big showdown, dude.
Yeah.
With Russia, States.
Yeah, for sure.
That's kind of sick to think
everything's
about.
Gonna melt.
I could see that actually being important.
And it's gonna be like fresh new resources.
Resources there.
It's kind of sick.
Unconquered like land. It's one of the only like unconquered land left, right?
In our lifetime,
we'll
see the Arctic Wars.
You're actually gonna. I actually think you're gonna see.
In 600 years, there'll be like water. There will be nothing.
I'm saying you think in our lifetimes we'll see the Arctic Wars.
There's stuff.
No,
there's land. But there's land.
There won't be land like in the Arctic. No, if everything could melt at the pole.
There is a continent there.
I don't think
continental thing.
How hard would it be to get to that? What would have to change in the world for that to
I don't think it's actual land.
But even if it's not, even if it just unthaws by like 20% and becomes navigable, there's still like.
No, it's supposed to all melt in like in a couple hundred years. So like 600
I'm talking about
years
like 50 years, 40 years. I'm talking our lifetime, bro. I'm talking about like now, our lifetime, we're gonna see the Arctic shit go down.
No,
Arctic Wars,
I thought, well, we were talking like in 600
Well, if it happens in 600, if it happens, it has to happen. It'll happen in our lifetime, I think. You're gonna see that. You're already kind of seeing it now. There's active claims between some kind of. There's a geological like nerd out about like which part of the shelf belongs to who, the continental shelf between Russia and Canada.
They already have a split.
Disputes and stuff.
There's already a split on the ownership.
But yeah, no, look, Russia. I always said like Russia's kind of a sleeper power. Like they have like a fortress economy. I don't think they're gonna like decline whether Putin stays or not. In fact, they've gained 20% territory of Ukraine in 100 days.
Day 100, woo, celebrate.
So
yeah, I mean,
there's gonna probably be concessions, talks, or something.
Yeah, I honestly have not been following at all, but
I've recently gotten into this politics shit. Honestly, you know, guys, they
get to strike with like all their fucking might, the
philosophy, shit
with the jets and with the artillery from afar and everything.
Wait, I missed that part. What jets? What are you talking about?
Well, it's just funny how like Ukraine is just unable to fight them, even though everyone's kind of helping them, but like Russia gets to use their air force, and you know, Russia could obliterate everything there.
Ukraine has made it
if they just nuked it and shit.
Bro.
Yeah.
There's an actual child there.
Yeah,
Playing.
it's a kid playing with the car.
No, they did fierce resistance, the Ukrainians. Like Russia has significant losses, but let's not pretend they're losing the war like as some people are trying to claim. They've actually gained quite a bit of territory.
Yeah, but they lost twice the amount of people.
Yeah, well, typically attacking yields more losses than defending.
Makes
But
sense.
so they're gaining territory, understandably.
At significant
but the
cost,
psychological effect on the people there, like, it's not the same as before. There wasn't a media blackout and literally people, like, tens of thousands of people in jail for protesting. Like, you know, it's not like that's not what happened in 2008. Like, that's what just happened this year. I don't think that can be sustained. I don't think that, because he would have.
That's why I say it'll end in negotiations. Ukraine will concede some of the territory. It'll take many years. There'll be insurgencies, I think it's a 20-year conflict. It's not a resolving this year.
Yeah.
So, but people will stop putting it in their Facebook profile eventually. The West has a very short attention span.
Yeah, dude, did you hear about the Johnny Depp shit, dude? Hell yeah. You hear about JD?
I heard about
My boy JD
I saw
taking the
some
W?
pictures.
Taking the W for
Taking
victims
the
of abuse
W.
everywhere? Let's go.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Fucking dirty fucking pirate.
Yeah.
Amber Heard shits in the bed
Jack
one
Sparrow
time, you gotta
won
make a
his
whole
case.
issue out of it, dude. God bless him though. He did good. He's a spectacle.
Spectacle.
Gave us some entertainment we needed.
Brought more water.
That's the pause. That's the move on to next scene cue. That's the
Director said.
yeah. That's the hit the next scene. What's the next one? Let's flip the
Water.
switch a little bit. Water.
Dune.
Dude, that's
Dune
when it's
2.
coming up, dude.
Desert.
You
Okay.
psyched for Dune 2 or not?
Speaking of sick,
Yeah,
fucking tying in this like future predictions shit into this like Dune fucking desert shit.
Yeah.
I do think the future is gonna have some really cool fucking like desert engineering stuff where you like get the deserts to be green
Yeah.
and
Makes sense.
solve a lot of like this climate shit and
There-
even then like Australia, they're saying they have like a lot of like political fucking energy around this like
Okay.
greening the desert thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, because like let's say you have rising sea levels, right? If you have the fucking government with big brain, you can redirect the ocean, irrigation slowly over time into the fucking mainland.
Yeah. That makes
Create
sense.
irrigation channels, right,
Yeah.
over kilometers. They fucking did it in ancient Egypt with fucking stone tools. You could do it with modern
Yeah.
drilling equipment, right?
That's
It
true,
just
that's
takes
cool.
a lot of like political will and energy.
Yeah, and the cooperation between different
But
kind of
cooperation
places.
between the two, the fucking liberals and conservatives, and it's again,
Yeah.
it's a two-party system.
and even potentially multiple countries or
And
multiple like
Potentially, you might need
governments.
investors. You might,
Yeah.
you'll definitely need some kind of public backing to.
And depending on how deep you're running the irrigation, it could just be like going through
yeah,
different borders.
but there'd be
and
also
whatnot.
phases probably it'd probably be over 20, 30, 50 years.
Yeah.
Like if you have a long
That's
life
cool,
But they have a
vision.
video. They have a video about that, eh? Like where they tried to do it before in Australia.
They did try to do it.
They
Yeah,
started
it
digging
failed.
it out.
They did
But
it
they're trying to
backwards,
redo
upside down.
it now. They're
There's
trying
a
to
lot of-
redo,
yeah, that's what I'm saying, there's a lot of
water irrigation of the desert.
There's a lot of new
Rural
interest
desert.
in these projects, and I think if you think about it, all the world's energy needs can be harnessed in like a square on the Sahara Desert, like
Actually.
forever. Yeah, like all the energy yearly needs of us could, like if we had the infrastructure to transport it. The problem is
Yeah, I
it's
guess
in the
that's
middle
kinda
of the
ridiculous.
Sahara Desert. So to build infrastructure to power the world, you can't. So there's no way
Yeah.
yet we have to. Energy is lost in transport, so that's a bit the problem. But if you look at just sheer power of solar, I'm very solar punk, like bullish. Like I think solar stuff is gonna be sick. I know there's a lot of issues around creating it, right? And like
Yeah,
look at
it's the
laptops. Every
energy.
10 years, the laptop. Look at a 15-year-old laptop. It's scuffed, right?
Completely,
A
6 years
15-year-old
it's done, yeah.
solar panel might be a bit more long, but it's scuffed eventually.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna need to find the right tech, like I don't know. I'm very hopeful of that, and I think it's gonna lead to a big boom in commodities and shit. That's why Russia right now is in a dominant position. They have all the mining shit, all the gas, all the stuff that you're gonna need to transition into this like fucking Web3 NFT fucking
Hell yeah.
world.
Pictures of monkeys on solar panels.
But yeah.
You guys
Finally
hear what
have
happened with
enough energy to make the next generation of NFTs.
Hell yeah. Did you hear what happened with Seth Green there?
No, what happened?
So he was trying to make a TV show with his fucking NFT. He had like a monkey, one of the board apes.
Oh yeah, he did.
He
Okay.
wanted to make a TV show where that was the main character, and
Yeah.
then he got like scammed, and he lost it somehow. I don't know. He
Someone
signed into
stole
some
his
bullshit
NFT.
website.
Nice, he gave it away. Yeah, he
said-
accidentally gave it
But now
away.
he literally can't make the fucking.
Can't make the movie.
He can't because the whole thing is like he doesn't own the thing. You
Come
know,
on, dude.
doesn't own the thing anymore.
So,
So as of now, it's on hold because he just got scammed. The whole fucking project.
But he's such a.
It's kind of super lame.
wait, he
yeah.
could actually not make it though?
No, he doesn't own the thing. He doesn't own the character.
But dude, can't he just say like, "Yo, fuck this," like
But he got scammed. So like,
NFT link,
technically
right?
it's
What is it really? An NFT is a link.
But the
to,
thing
like,
is
an
when-
open sea
the
database.
character-
But
he
the
can
thing is,
still be the
with the bored apes, there's actually like some
There's-
like license, like you own the character. They've gone like there's like next level shit.
you
like,
get
when
the
you have
creative
it,
rights. Of
Okay,
the-
so they put some agreements in place or
yeah,
something.
and they have like a TV show that can't air now because he doesn't own the character anymore.
That's so
That's
scary.
so ridiculous.
It's fucking.
It's so
This happened like the
crazy.
last couple of days. I was hearing a bit about it. It's fucking nuts. And the fact that like some super like a rich dude that's trying to build this whole thing up around this would get scammed like that is, it's kind of hilarious.
What happened
It's almost
to-
like
with your NFTs? Your NFT.
I'm hodling them.
You still have it?
the rugs.
yeah.
Oh shit!
I'm
What was the
only selling
last
at
offer?
30F. It's held well. It's the latest offer was like 0.37.
Okay, so just what, like
Yeah,
37 F.
Ethereum.
Yo,
They're talking about the rug radio stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rug radio, and I,
think
have
that dude's
the
still
the
doing
first
it.
things got rug
Sure.
pulled. The first three there,
The
I think you got
Solana
one too. The
ones.
Solana, thing.
ones,
Yeah, those got rugged.
Just to hang out with the.
We've
the
spent like
weed
40
fucking
bucks just
crew,
for the
yeah.
fun. Yeah.
The first ones, the
That's
Solana
sick.
ones. There was some shit that happened with that too.
The
Solana
rug
that-
radio is like 3x or whatever. I'm gonna wait.
Nice.
Whatever.
It's probably worth. I don't think the dude plans on like stopping.
It's
doing
all
what he's
good,
doing,
dude.
at
It
least
was
not
just
for a while.
it's like the kind of it's gambling money, you know. You
Little
can pay
bit.
up big. I gambled a
Little
bit on Do Kwon. Let me down.
so Quan.
Talking about Luna Terra 2, Luna 2, dude. Wait, isn't that the next? That's when they right all the wrongs.
You know me. I'm a Bitcoin max. You see the posts
Yeah,
that I do. This I Bitcoin schizo post. Like
I added the emote there. You saw it. The fucking E. It's good. It's good.
I schizo post. Because I've tried to see the macro thing, the macro story of Bitcoin. The Muad'Dib fucking vision of like the orange path.
They will say he was not the one.
It's got to be the one, right? Yeah.
There's gotta be some like Satoshi lore that's. Is that all the like? There's no more lore that's coming out. Is that is
I
like
don't know.
book of this is the Genesis and that's it.
Well, the real Satoshi will appear. Like,
Dude, I think we're gonna
part
get.
the crypto seas. Like fucking Bitcoin will be the only thing left.
We have the Genesis block. I think we need the Exodus of fiat.
In the end, dude.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I actually have no fucking.
What's
This whole thing.
What's the third?
I don't think we'll
dude,
get there.
what's the third Bible? Genesis, Exodus.
Revelation.
The
Deuteronomy.
country like has to stop existing for them to like not use that currency. Like you'd have to like have a new country made that would install the fact that they would use crypto instead of the current one. Because any current
No,
country,
El Salvador, they're doing fine.
they
Oh,
have
yeah.
their own
Are
currency.
they doing
though.
fine?
They're not
They're
doing
doing-
fine.
they're doing okay.
They're not doing fine.
They're
Are they
doing.
building like a
they're not
volcano
doing fine.
city? Like
They're definitely not
a
doing
volcano city? Fucking.
They're doing Volcano City. It's pretty sick,
It's
honestly.
insane, is what it is.
They're attracting a lot of like. I'm pretty sure if you look at their net immigration and net tourism, it's probably up by like a significant amount just
I
from
would
like
believe
that.
it,
I think
yeah.
it's.
I think the people
Bitcoin.
living there are like not.
There's definitely some like no coiners seeking,
some people not be happy.
but that is the nature of things.
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
Jesus.
Listen, he took a bet. Look, this guy, he might be seen as like an amazing guy in like 10 years when it pays
Which guy?
off.
Which guy?
The fucking bag holder for President bag holder.
Oh, yeah.
El Salvador. He made a big bet on Bitcoin, and I think it wouldn't be a good winning story if the line only went up. Like there has to be a crucible in which like these things are forged. These like the bear market creates good memes. The good memes create the bull markets. and then the bull markets create the bad memes.
Yeah, but it's your country's economy.
True and real, yeah.
Yeah, but look, dude, Elon Musk is memeing with Tesla. Tesla's bigger than most countries' economies.
But that's his. Yeah, but that's his.
like,
But that's his company. He's. Whereas countries like
God
taking the
dang.
decisions to convert their currency.
He's a
at this risk, he's not
leadership
electing.
figure. It's a similar thing, dude. He's someone who calls some shots.
He doesn't have a
called some
fiat currency. Like,
Dogecoin, dude. Hell yeah.
He's actually the second biggest like hodler of Bitcoin. Like,
Is he?
well, Tesla has like 1 billion Bitcoin on the balance.
That's sick.
It's like
man.
MicroStrategy and then Tesla.
Shit. A billion. Easy. Just a cool
It's
bill.
cool billion,
Just
yeah.
a cool bill. What's
A
he at now?
billion-
Net worth? He's
a
got to be
billion
150, that
Bitcoin?
guy? Oh, a billion
billion
dollars.
of worth.
US.
A billion Bitcoin is a fucking...
I know. I was
yeah.
like, wait.
That would be, what,
Billion
say,
Bitcoin?
fucking 30,
Dogecoin?
40, 50 trillion dollars? I mean,
Isn't
billion.
there like only 4 billion Bitcoin?
21 million. Actually.
21 million? Oh shit! So it's
Sheesh.
not even.
But soon,
Gotta get one soon, dude. Gotta get
Oh,
one soon.
man.
I'm
million,
getting
bro.
there, dude. I'm almost at one.
That's pretty hype, actually.
Getting one. At the bear market, I'm gonna get one.
Yeah, it's gonna...
Get me a
It's gonna
Bitcoin.
last. Some people were... I was talking to some of the boys from the Discord stuff.
You definitely had
They-
like one's worth before, no?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I never had. Dude, when have I had like?
No,
I
didn't
thought you had,
get
like,
into
40k in Bitcoin.
didn't get into crypto early enough to have
No, I
one
never had 40k in
Bitcoin.
crypto.
Oh, okay.
The most I've ever had is now, which is not 40k.
I don't even fucking considering prices right now and whatever I was holding being probably down big. I don't know what the fuck I have either. I haven't even checked on shit for a little bit.
Well, this
Except
is. Listen,
one of them that through Monkey that I got is actually doing really well.
that's sick.
Which is cool. Well,
Look,
fuck it,
you
whatever.
you need some bear market players, but you know, if it's just about having some fun, knowing that you're not going in there to like make secure money.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
Going in with the
it's
right
a ride.
mindset, you know?
Yeah, it's a ride. It's a thing to talk about. with
But
the
for me, I don't go
boys.
in the shitcoin. That's the thing. I know you have to believe in it, right? If you
Shitcoins.
believe in something and you
So
actually
many.
think it's a good price, then you're happy for a bear market. It's like
Yeah.
I'm actually able to accumulate more.
No, it's true. In the long run, yeah.
So right
Gotta
now
play
it's
with
an
a little bit of shit once here
accumulation.
and there just for a laugh. That
Fake,
was just to see
fake
what happens.
Messiah coin.
Put a little $10, $20 here and there just for a laugh, dude. Like I definitely did a bit of that,
Yeah.
but not much though. To be
Well, we'll
honest,
see.
I've been relatively smart with what I was doing with crypto stuff. It's just where we're at now. Nothing's really making money, so you just kind of let it ride. But
It really
still,
depends.
whatever.
If you had money, you'd be buying now, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, exactly. If you had a bunch kind of waiting on the side, you
It's
fucking
easier
get
to
on
make
in
money
there.
when you have money, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
So,
Get on in there, bro.
but you ever feel like but look, there's whales that manipulate every market, right?
for
It's
sure.
gonna be no different in fiat or Bitcoin.
A bit different, right? With like, because things being more or less regulated and whatnot. But there's definitely like ways that people could do all kinds of wonky bullshit and get away with it, even in like more legit kind of fucking things, for
Yeah,
sure.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah,
It
like
does.
no one got arrested from like the Panama Papers
Those
or
Panama
from
Papers.
It's the whole like
Like the biggest leak of,
whatever
like,
papers like
sketchy banking stuff of all the like world
It's all the
leaders,
shell
politicians,
companies.
shell
Yeah.
companies, and I forget where it is. Panama, probably.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. No, I don't think. I mean, I'd heard the term, but I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty scuffed.
And there was no.
There's definitely like some. That's why like I don't like. I'm not against the idea of like change, right? It's like, and I'm also not against. I'm not saying that like everything needs to be changed. So
Yeah.
like, why not just see what ideas come, see how they develop, and like, so far I think it's developed positively. The
Talking
Bitcoin.
about
the
Bitcoin
crypto,
specifically?
yeah. Not crypto's.
You mean Bitcoin?
Honestly, I think all like 99% of crypto is a scam, and like
Yeah.
Yeah,
taking
there's a
away
lot
from
of-
like the credibility of the good stuff in crypto.
There's a lot of jabroni shit,
Yeah.
especially having like delved into the fucking
you know,
NFT
it's-
world a little
it's-
bit. You see a whole other.
It's part of
bunch
the
jabroni
it's
shit.
part of the degeneracy too. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of degeneracy and scams on Facebook and all
Yeah,
these
no,
shit
for sure.
and you know, over the years, right?
When websites just first
When-
started becoming fucking
Yeah,
websites.
when
you get
emails just started and
Yeah.
the Nigerian princes started messaging you, there's all kinds of.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, my parents would never put a credit card online.
For sure,
They're
yeah,
like,
no
"What the
shot.
fuck are you talking about you're gonna put your credit card online,
Yeah.
you scuffed.
Yeah.
Like, now it's like buy this like $1.69
Everything's-
microtransaction in this Chinese app. Like,
And it autofills your
Yeah.
info and everything. You're like, yeah, of course.
thing that you
Yeah.
just actually fingerprint, like pay, like that's
Yeah,
shit.
easy.
Fucking Google Store.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's like things aren't the worst. Things are not like perfect.
Even in like the
It's gonna be
NFT
alright.
space, there's like some dudes that I've been talking to here and there, some like different people with different kind of project things that are super fucking cool. Like way further out there in terms of legitimacy than like the older shit that might be kind of what you think of when you think of these things just being like just pictures with no actual, like actually just fucking trading pictures that some guy drew. There's
Yeah, I don't know.
people that are doing, there's like things working with like charity organizations. There's people doing like all kinds of teaching and learning kind of fucking things. There's like a lot of people providing a lot of free kind of cool stuff to people that are a part of their things, and then there's like extra layers to it with owning the different passes and fucking pictures and whatnot. But there's like entire businesses and like brands being built around these things, and these things are just like a proof of kind of ownership of like a part of it kind of thing. But it's way more than just being a picture for like a lot of the kind of bigger players, which is cool. It's been kind of interesting.
What are those other
But definitely a bunch of scams.
specific kind of cryptocurrency that's like made so that people have ownership of the crypto? What is it called there?
You lost me. What happened? What?
It's a thing like there's like unions trying to use
DAOs?
it. Yeah,
DAO.
DAOs. Yeah,
That
those
makes
things.
sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a DAO. Yeah. DAOs have potential.
Yeah, those seem kind of interesting. Like the whole idea of like a company owning a company through owning the crypto.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think, like a next level of Kickstarter. When Kickstarter started, it was disruptive too, because that was a new wave of like creative ideas coming, board games, this, that, like stuff that all these indie things popped up through that, because all this, you had access to capital through free markets of like people saying, yeah, this project sounds cool, and you had these companies like Kickstarter that said, okay, well, we'll be the intermediary that like coordinates this, and it became popular. Now this is the next level of that. Whatever, that was what, 10, 15 years ago that shit started. Part of the whole like e-commerce shit too. There was a big
But
big
now,
tide.
instead of just like supporting something,
Now you actually get a token of ownership. So it's kind of like, and that's why it's pretty much a security, or depends though. Like it's really.
Yeah, I don't know the definition of security exactly, but I've heard like people talk about how crypto is security. Well, I don't know what the fuck exactly that means.
The meme there is like is it a security versus is it property? Like Michael Saylor says Bitcoin is property, everything else is a security. So anyways,
what's a security exactly though? Like what's a security actually? I don't even know what the fuck.
Security
it's like a guarantee of being able to get something for it.
It's some kind of investment vehicle where there's like a contractual agreement or something between a party and like someone who's presenting themselves as someone who wants capital, and an agreement between them and a potential investor. That's like a security.
But
So it's anything. A stock is a security,
kind of
like
fits into crypto stuff to some degree.
Technically,
right?
yeah. And then I don't know.
doesn't it?
He was saying a few things like securities. There's like anyways, I didn't want to like get into the securities thing, but like just to say that there's the ownership part of the net. You're basically owning a piece of the network with crypto.
Yeah,
That's kind of the cool thing. That is pretty cool, because that enables all kinds of like ways to support causes and lock in value and support, and also like take value digitally. So like if we want consistent economic growth, we want less consumerism of garbage plastic shit that we don't need.
True.
But we want to keep growing the economy, we want to keep innovating, keep like being creative and generating value.
True.
The best way to do that in the most sustainable way is to drive a lot of that value and stuff online, whether it's through digital networks, digital art, investment vehicles.
Yeah, but you could own a piece of stock too, right? Like owning a stock could also be argued like owning a piece of like
a company
and helping them like grow and like why wouldn't you do that? Like why is the crypto really the thing?
It's like a different space, right? Like there's not everyone can get listed on the public market. Like tomorrow, we could start a network and issue NFTs we can't get listed on the New York Stock Exchange.
Isn't that
There's
a good
different,
thing? Isn't that like kind of
there's
a
pros and
barrier,
cons, yeah,
barrier
there's-
to
depending how you think of it.
authenticity or
Look, the great thing is that no one's forcing you to buy NFTs. That's the fantastic thing.
Hell yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
beautiful thing about it.
Yeah.
The next great thing is that the people that do want to engage in it can, and there's some scams and bad actors for sure, even if it's the majority, but there's still you can argue what the percentage is, 50, 40, 10% of like value and creative stuff happening there, and then
Yeah.
whether even if it's just aesthetic memes value and like people going over this shit and like talking about it, it's generating something, it's doing something. There's fucking podcasts, there's arts, there's stuff, there's discourse about a technology, there's ethical shit, discords, there's all kinds of shit, right? So it is definitely taking value online in a way.
Yeah, and some of them have legit business plans behind them and are actually
So it does enable. Look, the model itself is definitely an innovation. In practicality, there's a lot of scams, and then that's why people who say, the no coiners will say like, oh, look at crypto bros rediscovering regulation, ha ha ha. When your NFTs get stolen and you start crying, it's like, yeah, okay, slowly regulation will build, and I'm actually pro good regulation. Like if
anti-Seth Green, yeah.
if good regulation comes in the space and clarifies, then all that's going to do is make it it's going to stabilize the space and make it more appealing to investors.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, good regulation is good. So it's just about unfriendly regulation, which is I think misguided, because you're not gonna kill it. It's still gonna exist. You could try to ban it, or you can try and like profit from it.
what's like good regulation?
Well, like I think like good regulation. I'll give you a concrete example. In Quebec, okay, we're cold, and we have a lot of like hydropower and excess power and locked power that we can overproduce because you can't turn off wind
Zoom a little bit,
and
sorry.
hydro. We have a lot of wind and hydro power that we can't just turn off, so you can use it, for example, to mine Bitcoin, or mine crypto, and then you're for very low cost generating a lot of potentially revenue for your company. You want to fund your services, you make a few $1 million. If you're telling me you can't spend a few $1 million that you make from that crypto on healthcare, of course you can. So it's just revenue for your treasury or your government.
But they're spending more infrastructure and trying to like allow us to like bridge power into Ontario and the southern states. So we also like do kind of resell the excess. So it's like,
there's some places that we don't though. There's definitely a lot. So there's places where we can. I'm giving you an example, right? And this is a concrete example because there's the Quebec government wasn't very crypto friendly, unfortunately, even though we had.
Are they now? I have no idea.
Honestly, we had the conditions. We could have been like a crypto superpower if we wanted and benefit if we got in early.
I remember Narig's story. He was trying to mine Bitcoin at like McGill or something.
At the Cyber Justice Lab, proposed an Ethereum mining rig technology
like a decade
to
ago.
mine Ethereum and just study it and study the technology and use it for legal like smart contracts and stuff and just study the tech. That would have paid a lot of returns if we had done it back then, right? And so if you're forward thinking enough and you actually see.
But the that wasn't the government at all. That was just the school board or whatever. But still, in that direction.
Look, there's being pro. There's like governments actively subsidizing something. There's governments doing nothing, and then there's governments actively preventing something.
True. Yeah.
So like instead, I'm not saying okay. They could have done nothing, and then you would have had more crypto rigs. But I think they actively tried to fight it.
I think
you could go the other way and subsidize it. If they had done that, it would have been profitable.
But like for them, it's even though there's like a huge like thing about it being profitable, it doesn't necessarily mean that those organizations have it in their interest to try and do that. And it's also in hindsight, right? Like if the people saw them and they spent all this money in making like cryptocurrency rigs and things like that, and then it didn't pay off, and then like they hadn't been using the money and all these other things, like, would really
well, that's why I think it's not even on them to invest the money. Just let entrepreneurs invest the money. Let other become like El Salvador is selling Bitcoin bonds. Other money is flowing into El Salvador. If Quebec did something like that, they would they would spend nothing. They would be getting money from outside. It would attract outside interest in Quebec.
Yeah.
They're not actually raising any money. What they're doing is you're getting outside investors to fund your investment, and then you're getting a yield or a dividend on stuff that is essentially very low cost to you. And you don't need to pay for fans to cool it. Your fucking winter, you can actually use it to heat your home.
But you still need fans, like, first
Dude,
of all.
they're using it to you can engineer it so that it can warm. Instead of, you can reduce your heating bill instead of, having to pay fans, for example.
That makes sense, yeah.
But there's other innovation.
that
If you
properly,
drive
yeah.
by like the Suncor natural gas thing outside of Quebec or Montreal, there's literally natural gas flaring up. You can go and put a Bitcoin rig there and mine it and actually reduce the emissions and capture that and like convert it into energy and sell it. Really at relatively low cost. These are things that are very new, right? So you have to.
Yeah,
again, it's not. There's always like two sides to everything, but for sure it's promising. I think.
It is, yeah, definitely a way that, like, you could use the fucking climate here to your advantage.
You have
that would be
yeah.
kind of cool.
That's
yeah.
what you
like
have to do. Use your geography to your.
That's kind of sick, actually.
We have so much hydropower.
Hydroponics.
Hydro fucking dank.
Fucking A.
But yeah, so I'm more on that kind of crypto Bitcoins train than like NFTs, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm also
Wild
just
West.
like observing.
I'm not
like
super-
enjoying the ride.
I've been kind of in touch with some things a little bit, but not for particularly long, and not super deep, honestly, either.
Yeah.
You worked in this basically.
Yeah, but anyways, I don't know a whole lot, and I wasn't really looking at it from a super like investy kind of gamey thing. I was just doing my role for the one thing that I was working for. But I have just in doing that and in like just kind of connecting with people a little bit, heard about projects and like about gotten a better feel for kind of what's coming up and what's making it and whatnot. And there are some pretty cool stuff in there, but it is like the Wild West for sure. It's a whole other fucking It's like like when we were saying, when the websites and emails first started, and like when apps first started and shit. It's like, hey, here's an app. It's a beer. You'll pour it and it looks like you're drinking beer. Like, what the fuck is the point of any of this shit?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Like, there's a lot of stuff in this too. That's the same thing. You're like, why are you like, why do you think you should be doing this? This is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And there's other people that are making like the fucking Spotify's of like the literally the Spotify's of that. There was one dude that was talking at one of the meeting things I was in about like it's this whole like musician platform thing, NFT fucking album art and songs and like some shit. And he's like the dude, and he has like experience running other shit. And there's like big motherfuckers with actual plans, like business plans. But there's also people that are like, hey, I drew a picture of a predator, but his mask's different. And you're like, stop, like, fucking go home, dude. Like, what are you?
No, for sure.
What are you doing?
Regardless of like crypto, though, I think the idea that like value
I'll show
itself.
I'll show you guys the predator one. I'm not even kidding about the predator one. It's
you should post it like all
this.
You should post some links at the end.
I don't want anyone to see this. If whoever made that fucking project somehow sees this ever, stop. I'll show you guys after. It's the fucking dude. It is real. And this dude, like I think he was right before the guy that came in with the music thing in like this meeting thing, and his thing was actually just like hand drawn, Predator from the movie, but like with different like masks and shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you're like, what the fuck are you even talking about, dude?
Yeah.
And dude, God bless him.
I don't know,
for real.
bless this guy.
I hope all his eggs aren't in that one basket. It is the worst thing. For one, like you're just a full-on rip-off of another IP. Like not shameless.
Yeah.
Like 100.
And IP shit has to catch up.
Hand drawn. Not well. Like not.
Maybe
well.
that's how he gets around the IP. It's so scuffed. Like how scuffed do you have to be to not qualify for IP violation?
I think it's just still so small that it hasn't had a chance. But it's all like it's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing I've fucking seen.
Yeah, no. It's,
But like that dude will be talking in the same kind of group conversation where like the next guy will come in and he'll have this actual like sick fucking plan. So I completely get why the impression of the space is fucking bullshit, because a lot of them are that first guy.
Yeah.
Maybe not that first guy, maybe people that actually made a bit more of an effort, but they're just gonna rug it eventually, or like there's like a bit of a plan there, but there's no intention to ever kind of pull it off, kind of thing. This dude actually just has nothing.
There's also best intentions failing, right? Like you're
Those happen,
over ambitious, you don't manage your resources well.
But
honestly, like
then there's also
a
like
fool and
actual
their wealth are soon parted. Man.
True,
Like
man,
if you
I'm
just
kind of a
get
fool.
money, it doesn't mean you're gonna be able to execute a good plan.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's cool with like the actual business people that are trying to do real shit, that are flying under the radar in terms of like mainstream opinion and criticism, which is kind of unfortunate. But there's no real way to figure out about these things, because they haven't, at least like there isn't really any great examples of like a fucking massive one kind of just hitting the world. But they are in the works. There are people that are doing like actually very, very cool fucking things, that are using this in all the right fucking ways.
I know he's a bit
It's
of a
just-
meme on in crypto, but like Charles Hoskinson or whatever, Ada, the Cardano guy.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like this, like trying to do the right thing with like guy.
I don't know much about him, honestly. What's he up to?
He's trying to like give banking and like cheap banking services and identity access management services to
Okay.
poor and like impoverished communities that don't have it. Like in Africa, for example, you don't have banks like here, where you have like 5 banks that you could just sign up for and like give you a credit card. Like it doesn't work that way there, right? So
Identity access management.
yeah, no. For like administrative purposes, right? Like if you want to say like, okay, well, you're an investor in this, I don't know, this Cameroonian fucking venture, then you're gonna get some of this value locked in this way, and it's gonna like be blockchain to you, and it's gonna represent your investment in this way, and you'll be able to do this in this smart contract.
Okay,
and like so it's an ecosystem of surfaces that they can then
that
interact
allows
with.
you to get like financial access to these
Exactly.
things.
So he's trying to do the good kind of like SJW crypto stuff, where we're like, oh, because it's a deep thing, right? It's deep space. There's also some like, there's all kinds.
Social politics wrapped up in these things.
But that's the thing. Like
Identity.
the good and bad thing about crypto is that like anyone can use it, including people you don't like. Like that's the
Like this guy.
so.
Like this fucking guy.
It's no one's gonna stop you. No one's gonna force you.
Yeah, I've been checking out these fucking cuts on my legs from the deadlift day.
there's still blood on the fucking
bloodied it
bar.
up.
I gotta clean the
blood
bar,
and
dude.
blood and iron, dude. Blood
I
and
actually
iron.
saw a video today of the dude ripping up his shin with the barbell. It was kind of scary.
I got sensitive. I'm a sensitive boy. You guys know that. I got sensitive skin.
Yeah,
I got a pimple that developed
I had
just
to start
overnight.
lifting with you guys.
I was fit today.
Swole.
You're fucking jacked.
I was actually quite big.
Mr.
Beast
Up,
today, man.
Mr.
Legs and run was pretty beast.
Yeah, it was legs and run.
Mr. Up, the lift god.
Mr. Up. Oh, dude, we had all the Viking powers working with us. We had like the fucking runes. We had the Viking metal playing.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know about the Mr. Up thing?
No.
Tell me about the Mr. Up.
But it's just like we have like I wrote like runes from like I have like the Viking kind of
Yeah,
like
the rune chart.
and it has rune charts and it has the deities. Anyway, so I wrote like this kind of like weird thing at the top with just like interpreting the runes like just with the things. And then I have never noticed, and then he just read it, and the way it just looks like Mr. Up.
Looks like,
like
an
an
MR
arrow.
and an hour up.
And then,
an
like,
MR and an
yeah.
arrow
There
upwards.
you go.
So
Just
Mr.
Mr. Up.
So you have some Norse up energy.
Yeah,
But also,
it
yeah.
was working.
Like there's the actual meanings being whatever. What does it mean again? Like
It
fucking-
literally means like human make sacrifice, journey, and then like turning point, and
Hell
then
yeah.
destiny and strength.
sick. But a chunk of it looks like MR and an arrow upwards.
Yeah.
So it has the double
Yeah.
meaning of being Mr. Up, the lift god, dude. What
Yeah,
goes down must come up.
the
That's the
up
mantra.
the
What
up
goes
is
down must come up.
sacrifice actually.
Let's go.
You have to.
We are
You have to
sacrificed.
lift yourself up.
True.
Yeah, it's a human journey and then sacrifice.
I remember we were walking back on the stairs one day, and like an old lady was walking by us, and she's
Yeah.
like, "What goes down must come up." Remember that? I was like, "She knows,
She
dude.
knows the ways.
She actually knows." No,
Actually, the God's speaking through you.
it was sick because we had come up with that. It had been like months before that, like the Mr. Up was written on there, and that's just kind of like been a fucking meme continuously for these workouts. And a lady coming down the stairs just looks at me and says the thing, like the thing.
It's just
I was like, you sick?
people living on the mountain.
What goes down?
Mountain people, dude.
I was
Just
like,
like stocky
sick.
folk.
Yeah, she do, dude.
She was walking up the giant staircase.
Yeah, she was like 80 in shades and like a white like a tennis hat.
But she's always
Sick.
actually walking up and down those stairs every
She's
day.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
I saw the lady that had fallen down. Remember when we were walking? There was a fucking I fall and I can't get up lady.
Yeah.
She was walking again. She's doing all right.
Yeah.
She's doing all right. There's like a whole stair crew and like a stair extended area kind of gang.
Small community.
Little dog walkers here and there.
Yeah.
It's nice here, man.
So
good,
many
relaxing.
dogs. Yeah, it's super chill.
Should I turn the camera on the woods? That's like some fucking fourth wall breaking, meta breaking kind of shit. We never shown ever where we are.
We like end the video walking out like into the woods.
Oh, dude, you guys want to get out there and walk?
Let's go part 2.
Fucking go.
I'll put this here. You guys just walk.
I have to leave soon anyway for my sister's like supper.
Super. Probably starving.
I ate like 3 eggs toast and a shake like after everything, but I'm still very, very, very hungry. It's a high carb day actually. That's because of
we
the
walk-
workout and the run. It's the one of the hardest days. Tomorrow's the hardest day. It's the long slow run. I need to run 32K tomorrow.
If we walk right past this tree straight in front of me into the woods, that could actually be the end. Wait, we didn't say this. Should we say goodbye to the thing itself? That's the end. That's the end of this. Whatever the fuck this is, episode 1, season 2, episode 1. I don't know where I'm gonna include this, but